Southside Flyers snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat.
A week off for all 8 teams in the WNBL, and now we're back at it. What a luxury that is in season 21-22. And today it resumes with Adelaide up against Bendigo. It starts a run of 4 games to be played across the next 2 games. And this matchup is much better in prospects than perhaps it looks on the ladder at the moment. The Adelaide Lightning at 5-2 up against the Bendigo Spirit, who are 1-7. Adelaide have won 5 of their last 6 games. Bendigo have lost their last 6, but a much better game in prospects than that suggests. Corbin Middlemass and Laurie Chiswick on hand. Laurie, why is it better than that in prospects, this matchup today?
Well, I love what you said, and I think you're spot on. When we look at normally, we'd think top of the ladder versus the bottom of the ladder, we'd be going, but with the absence of some key players for Adelaide and Bendigo at full strength, wow, it could be anything. I think Adelaide really need to take care of the basketball. They only put up 60 shots against Canberra last week, so they need to take care of that ball. And Bendigo aren't doing too much wrong. I just think they need to continue playing the way they are.
Lost by 3 possessions the other night up against the Perth Lynx. The reason why Adelaide are a little depleted, despite the fact they're 5-2, is because the Opals team has been picked. The squad is on the plane on their way to Serbia to play in that qualifying tournament. And there's 2 big names on that list, Laurie Chiswick, which leave a massive hole in the Adelaide team.
Well, first of all, congratulations to that group. And Adelaide today is without Alana Smith and Steph Talbot. Big outs for this group. We know that they're their leading scorers, leading rebounder for that team. So great opportunity for some other kids. But wow, those are big shoes to fill.
Let's have a look at who is there for Adelaide today. So we mentioned no Smith, no Talbot. There's also another one of their starters missing as well with Kiana Williams not there, their import. She's in the middle of the screen at the moment with the jeans on, so she hasn't suited up. So let's take a look at who is there for Adelaide today, Laurie.
Well, it's a great opportunity, I always said. So we've got Marina Whittle and Simons coming in, Sam Simons, and Chelsea Brooke go into that starting lineup. So really good chance for them to show what they've come on the bench and done some good things, but really they're starting now. So it'll be a great opportunity for them as well.
Williams missed the last game as well against Canberra last week, hurt her ankle after a collision with Zatina Okuzo. On the other hand, the Bendigo Spirit, 6-game losing skid. But Tracy York told me earlier today that she can't remember a stage this season that they've been physically as primed as what they are today. Give or take very much a whole squad available to them. They've had bouts of COVID. They've finally recovered from that, and they come into today fresh.
Well, you can see that starting lineup. There's no changes. That's who they've wanted to start all along, and they're really settled in what they do in their rotations and coming in off the bench. So the fact that they've got that whole group, they'd be feeling really confident going into today's game.
Now, Laurie, there was a wrestler back in the day, Booker T, and he used to always say the 5-time, yes, 5-time, and it's perfect for us today as we introduce the 5-time WNBL champion in Rachel Spawn. She's also a 2-time league MVP, part of our coverage today. Rachel, welcome along again.
Thank you, Corbin. It's so great to be here. I agree with Laurie that it's all about opportunity and self-belief today. When you figure the 3 that Lightning have got out, they contribute 40 points, 20 rebounds and 11 assists. So it has to be a collective effort from Lightning today, and I really hope those young players off the bench can step up and do that for Adelaide. Conversely, Bendigo, they'll be thinking this is great. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to beat the second team on the ladder. And you're right, it doesn't mean anything that they're sitting 8th today. I think it's really level pegging. I spoke to Tracy York before the game, and she just said they're up and about. They've got their full squad for the first time, and I really think it's going to be a close game today.
And Rachel, what are the new digs like? We've obviously done one of the broadcast games there already. They played 4 games this year, the Lightning. How are you finding their new surrounds, and is the number 14 still flapping around in the rafters there?
It's not up here yet, Corbin, but do you know, I'm pretty proud to be standing here because this is actually Joe Hill Court, because this is North Adelaide Basketball Club's home court. So that's pretty cool. One of my teammates' names is a signature on the floor. It's a wonderful stadium, really light and airy. So, yeah, wonderful place to play for the girls.
Need to get that banner back, Laurie Chiswick, and get it up flying up there at the Lights, the new venue for the Adelaide Lightning. Who wins today?
Well, that's an interesting one because we talked about the opportunity of Bendigo and the absence of players. We have to remember that Adelaide is the best defensive team in the competition. They only allow a stingy 67 points for opposition, so they're going to need to bring out all stops tonight. But you know what? I'm going to tip Bendigo to just get over the line.
Bendigo predominantly in the yellow with the blue accent, and the Adelaide Lightning at home here at the Lights. It is the Lights of View. I think last time we did a game here, I was referring to it as Lightsville, which Twitter pointed out very quickly that it's not the name, but the Lights, as it's known, the Community Sports Centre, the new home of the Adelaide Lightning. We're ready to go. It'll be Shook and McKay at the tip, and let the ride begin as Megan McKay whacks it down to Maley. Shares it with Garrick, and Tessa Lavey out there among the starters for Bendigo. Lavey down in the low block, throws it away. There's Chelsea Brook. Away to Simons, bounce pass to Weirung, shot goes up, wanted a call, didn't get it. And now Maley back down the floor for the Spirit. Pulls up, short corner, a little long. The game still searching for its first points through the first 3 sets.
You know, I was thinking about Annalie Maley. She was at the Opals camp, a great opportunity for her. She didn't get selected. And I was wondering whether she would, you know, feel a little fatigued in that. And then I thought, you know what? She is so fit. She is so energetic. I don't think we'll see any fatigue from her.
Well, Whittle a little long on her shot. So both teams have had a few looks at it. 3 missed shots from Adelaide, 1 from the Spirit. And they've thrown it away in the front court. Lavey dumps it down low. McKay bangs bodies with Shook. Goes to work. Called for the walk. Travel. It'll be Adelaide's ball. So for 3 runs down the floor so far, the Spirit have only got 1 shot away. They are the team fully loaded. The Lightning without Williams, their star import guard, without Smith and without Talbot. So a depleted Adelaide team at home. Adelaide losing to Canberra last Sunday, ended a 5-game winning streak. Here's Whittle on the perimeter, pulls up from the free throw line, left it short, and Maley with her first rebound of the game. It won't be her last.
I'll be interested to see which team sort of settles into this game first, because right now neither of them look super comfortable in what they're doing.
McKay on the perimeter, 10 left on the red numbers. Maley with the handoff, left it behind, and Whittle comes up with it for the Lightning. Bounce pass down low, picked off. McKay with a hand in there.
Just not a good angle to make that post pass. You either needed to dribble to get it more to the wing or make a pass.
Here's Wilson. She knows all about the Adelaide crew. First here with Bendigo. Catches down low, pops it up, gets the shooter's roll. And we have the first points of the game after 2 minutes. They're at a premium today.
It's nice to get a first basket when you run something and execute your offense. A little flex cut there found Alice Wilson wide open under the basket.
Sam Simons down to the corner. Here's Shook. Has range from out there. Goes down low to Brook, and a foul called. Maley trying to block the shot. Chelsea Brook will head to the free throw line. Great pass, good vision. As you said, a well-executed play.
And that's something that Adelaide, I mean, even though they are missing Alana as a big, they've still got the size advantage over Bendigo, so they need to go inside. They need to put pressure on the rim.
Now, I don't want to put the moz on her here, but has not missed a foul shot this year. Chelsea Brook.
Oh, Corbin!
I swear we have no involvement as to what we say as to what transpires out on the floor, but I apologise to Chelsea and her family. Shot from 3 in the corner, Maddie Garrick. Nice little heat check to start, bangs down the corner 3.
That's always great to see Maddie Garrick putting up those shots nice and early. And there we see Abby Weirung finding a wide open key. Just everybody parted, and she had an easy basket.
Wilson on the perimeter, dribble penetration, kicks it back out, catch and shoot. Garrick for back-to-back trips.
Tell you what, I'd be getting the ball in her hand right away. Next play down, run another play to her, get her three-point shooting. She can be just lethal from there.
She's a real confidence player too. Well, you could say every player in the league, but when she heats up, Maddie Garrick is a problem. That's not the start Adelaide would have wanted. Back-to-back threes to start for Garrick. 5-point spread. Shook backs away in to Whittle. Pulls up, jump shot, catches every part of the rim and drops.
That was nice patience by Adelaide that time, just letting the ball move and a play evolve.
3.5 in. Garrick in the corner. Pump fake. Steadies for 3 in a row. Misfires. And Shook pulls down the rebound. Push the tempo up the floor. Whittle dumps it down low. Brooke goes up. Fouled over the back. Will be caught on Megan McKay, and Chelsea Brooke will head back to the free throw line.
Good to see Adelaide pushing the ball and trying to get an early shot in transition. And that's something that Bendigo will really need to take care of business, their defensive transition.
I don't know if you know this, Laurie, but she's just missed the 1 foul shot this year, Chelsea Brooke, now, after a previous trip to the line. Makes the first there. Second shot's good. Back to a 1-point game. Rachel Spawn on the sideline.
And just to add to Adelaide woes, during the week, Kylie Shook was in bed on Wednesday and Thursday with gastro. So I'm really keen to see how she's going to be energy-wise, because she's playing about 31 minutes a game, and they will need her to probably play more than that today. So keen to see how she lasts out there.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Rachel, because she's somebody that when I was looking and thought she really needs to step up, because last week against Canberra, she only had 4 points in 29 minutes. So her output needs to be much more today.
Down low, Shook goes to work, jump hooks. Oh, doesn't go. Just bobbles out. Whittle a hand on it, and Garrick recovers the ball for the Spirit. Bendigo by 1. Here's Levy to Maley. Pulls up for 3. Yes! Fills that up. Third successful 3 so far for Bendigo. They're 3 of 5 from long range. Adelaide haven't attempted one.
Well, as we mentioned in the opener, they did shoot the lights out against Perth, so they look like they're continuing to do so today.
Here's a corner 3 attempt. Wareham can't connect. Levy back up the floor. Here's Garrick. Sees Maley down low. Got it to her. Shot a little too much on it. Too hard off the glass. The shot misses. 4-point spread. Whittle. Back down low again. He's Shook. Back to Whittle. 10 left on the shot clock. The handoff good to Brooke. Can't finish the rim. The Spirit back the other way in transition.
Those are points that Adelaide are really going to have to concentrate on their finishing, because they can't afford to miss sort of gimmies like that.
A couple of misses at either end of the floor. Here's Wareham, takes it all the way to the rack, and again, no good. Left it a little short. Wilson loses the handle. Turnover, Whittle, back down low. Simons, jump hook, good for 2.
There's a few people slipping on the floor right now. I like how Levy's just slowed it down right now, called a play. Really important that they get a good shot this play phase.
McKay for a deep 2, no good.
Not sure that's the shot you'd be looking for.
Shook on the perimeter, back up top to Whittle, guarded by Maley as Whittle works inside, a little too much on her jumper, and Maley pulls down the rebound. Garrick off the dribble, bangs that down 2. Hot start for Maddie Garrick, up to 8 first quarter points.
I don't think that shot touched the side of the rim there. It was just straight through. She's really feeling it, Maddie Garrick.
Now on the defensive side of the ball, guards Whittle. Whittle tries to take her all the way to the rack, throws it to the corner. She's going to be called for the offensive foul. She runs through McKay, who was set, and they'll cough possession up. The Adelaide Lightning, so a 4-point lead for Bendigo, who will get it back, and here's the start for Maddie Garrick.
Oh, that's such a sweet shot in there, and then we can see this next drive here. McKay was just had her feet set totally. I think Adelaide need to get it through hands and not try and go as much one-on-one. Shift the defense, make them move. I'm sure that's what Chris Lucas is talking to Natty Hurst about right now, how they can get a few more scoring outputs.
Adelaide 3 of 11 to start the game. Here's McLean, dumps it down low. Maley, spin move, shot up, bounces off the side of the rim, and Simons recovers it for Adelaide. Werung up the floor, the early advance. Oh, loose pass. Swing it into the corner. Basham throws it away. So there's a few names we're going to see a bit more court time from that obviously known to us in the league in the past, but with limited minutes. Brooke Basham's one. Imagine we'll see a bit of Taylor Ortlip, Ella Badish.
Yeah.
Perhaps bigger roles for them today, Laurie, than what we're used to.
Well, they will, and that's, as we said, you know, Rachel said, great opportunity for them. We see some subs that have come in for Bendigo. Carly Bogue just took that shot. So I think both teams will be rotating their players. Obviously, Bendigo have a more set starting lineup.
Basham, the left hand, then back up top to Werung. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shook just pulls up off the dribble. No good. Rebound recovered. Simons dumps it down low. Brooke goes to work, and McLean outsized fouls.
Great vision by Sam Simons to recognize the mismatch inside and get it in there straight away.
Rachel Spawn.
And it is great to see Brooke Basham get in so early. She's only played 3 of the 8 games that Lightning have actually played. And also Taylor Ortlip just coming in. She hit 4 or 5 threes against their loss against Canberra last week. So I'm not surprised to see Taylor getting in early as well. And the wonderful thing is the 2 young girls, Basham and Ortlip, are local girls. So really good for our state.
Absolutely. We'll see some of the best SA talent on offer throughout the afternoon. A couple of successful makes at the line, or thrown it away. Ortlip slipping through the hands of Goulding down the floor, and then that is a nice layup, finished off and right on cue, involved in the game. Basham with the make, locks it up at 13 apiece. Garrick for 3 more, misfires. Bogue trying to scrap for the offensive rebound, recovers it.
Great second effort by Bogue.
Goulding back to Garrick, who's played every minute of the game so far. Already with 8 points in the quarter. Draws the double team, draws the foul. The double team, Taylor Ortlip to be called for that. She's the second defender in here.
Yeah, she really got bailed out there by Taylor Ortlip. She had nowhere to go. The clock was ticking down.
More subs as Abby Werung sits down. Taylor Brazel in for some early minutes. Goulding to Garrick. Final minute of the opening quarter. Bendigo are yet to trail in the game. They might here. Garrick loses the handle. Oh, no.
Unsportsmanlike was called.
To get another look at that, after Garrick lost the handle here. Yeah. Clear path foul against Maddie Garrick. So foul shots and possession coming up for Adelaide.
You have to make a play at the ball, so the fact that she just grabbed her arm is why the unsportsmanlike foul is called.
Garrick 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. And foul shot successful here for Brooke Basham as well. Her first 2 free throws on the season. First lead change of the game, Adelaide up by 2. Led this game by 5, Bendigo at one stage in this opening quarter. A 6-game losing sequence, but at full strength against a depleted Adelaide team. 3-point look is good. From downtown, a nice mate, Chelsea Brooke. Among the starters and involved here in the opening quarter.
Adelaide have done a really good job of settling and, as Rachel said, getting contributions from a variety of people.
10-point swing in this game. Now foul called as McLean misses the three and then trying to mop up her own miss. As the Chelsea Brook catch and shoot on the perimeter. Cassidy McLean sits down for the time being for the Spirit. Adelaide by 5. More subs. Whittles back and Ortlip sits down. Momentum with Adelaide, possession with Bendigo. Maley, catch and shoot, no good. Bogue can't recover the ball. Comes down to Brook, and Adelaide come up with it again for the final possession perhaps this opening quarter. Six seconds to go. Basham pulls up and makes it off the dribble. And that'll give them a 7-point lead as the three-quarter court heave is unsuccessful. And what a turnaround in this opening quarter after trailing by 5. The Lightning now lead it by 7.
Well, that was a really good look at Basham, that timing it perfectly so they couldn't get another shot.
Second quarter action around the corner. The Lightning by 7. Quarter time at the Lights, WNBL action round 10 after a couple of days off. Adelaide depleted, but still favourites heading into this game up against the Spirit. On a 6-game losing sequence, the Spirit did lead by 5 earlier in the quarter. They're now down by 7. 12-point turnaround in the game, 20-13 the scoreline in favour of the Lightning. Now the Women's World Cup around the corner, FIBA's flagship competition. The Basketball World Cup heading to Australia in September across 10 days at Sydney Olympic Park. 12 powerhouse nations will compete for the world title. For more information, visit womensworldcup.basketball. That's womensworldcup.basketball. Just around the corner now in September, Laurie Chiswick.
Well, and that's what this whole going to Serbia is all about, is to, find out their placing. We get automatic qualification into the World Cup, but the better we do, the higher will be our ranking, and of course it'll build momentum, which is what it's all about for Sandy Brondello and her coaching staff right now.
We saw plenty of the roster in that opening quarter from Adelaide, and yet they were able to arrest momentum and then had the wind in their sails heading towards quarter time. They're a 7-point buffer.
Well, we know that they're the best defensive team, and to keep Bendigo to 13 points, Chris Lucas would be really happy with that. And yes, once they got settled in, I thought they were really impressive.
On an 11-0 run at the moment, Adelaide and possession. Rachel Spawn with us courtside.
Yeah, I was listening to the Bendigo timeout, for quarter time, and Tracy York was really concerned with the number of layups that Bendigo have given Lightning. That's really helped their percentage along, and really wanting to run more sets. As you mentioned, Laurie, it was good when Tessa Lavey pulled the ball back and did that before, but she's also wanting her players that can do that great one-on-one work get to work also.
Oh, goes all the way around the world and doesn't go. The three-point attempt from Maley. Thanks to Rachel Spawn. More from Rachel throughout the broadcast. Last 11 points of the game to Adelaide. Brazel puts up a tough shot. No good, and Maley on the rebound. Here's Lavey. Floater's good. Off the glass. Finally stops the run. Some points back the other way for Bendigo.
That might be just what they need to sort of settle them, get them into a little bit of a routine now.
He's Whittle in the corner, drives on Bogue, puts up the shot, doesn't go. I'll say it again, I feel like it's just on repeat. Maley with the rebound. already having a heap of involvement. McKay swings it to the weak side. Levy in attack mode. Bounce pass back into the lane. Shot goes up from McKay. Finishes the hand in her face.
That was good movement off the ball. Levy got really stopped in the key there, had nowhere to go, and it was a great cut by Megan McKay.
Back to a single possession game. Whittle pulls up. No good. Who's on the rebound there? Laurie Chiswick?
I don't even need to be watching it. I could guess who it was.
Adelaide Maley has 8 rebounds. 8 rebounds, Laurie, in 12 minutes of basketball. And she's had a rest in that time as well. Driving, Goulding kicks it back out. Maley knocks that down. That's a very sweet make. Had a foot on the line. The shot's good, and we got a 1-point margin again. 3 straight baskets for the Spirit coming out of quarter time. And this 7-point lead's evaporated for Adelaide. It's a 1-point game. Lightning 20, Spirit 19. Timeout called.
Very timely timeout called by Chris Lucas. I imagine he won't be happy with what he's seen from his charges. They just need to settle down and get into the rhythm that got them back into the game in the first quarter.
What did you notice, Laurie? What changed out of quarter time?
Well, I think Bendigo were a bit more assertive offensively. Even that shot that Annalee Maley missed the 3 to begin with, it was a good shot. It was a good shot out of their offense. And for Adelaide, they just came out a little bit flat-footed, I feel, and haven't got that real defensive intensity.
There's Tracy York, coach of Bendigo Spirit in her 3rd season. Her 1st season coaching in the WNBL for our loyal fans, and there'll be plenty of those that have been around the blocks in WNBL terms, was back in 2015-16 in her single season coaching the Adelaide Lightning. So obviously has a bit of history in South Australia, still resides in Adelaide most of the year, and was previously an assistant coach in the NBL as well to Joey Wright. Now in charge of the Spirit, as Maley starts the game. 5 points, 8 rebounds already.
See, I told you she wouldn't be tired.
Oh.
I mean, it'll be interesting. Some of her shots might fall a bit short towards the end of the game. That might be fatigue, but right now we aren't seeing any of that.
She can really go. There's no doubt about that. 1-point margin, Adelaide with the ball. Bendigo with the last 6 points. Shook down low. Oh, bounce pass, throws it away. Wilson comes up with it. Levy the early advance, kicks it up the floor. Goulding recovers it. Maley down low, left it short. Wild scramble. McKay comes up with it. Had a foot on the baseline. Adelaide ball.
See, at the other end, I would really like to see Kylie Shook go to work against McKay. You know, she was in a great position. You know, test her defensively.
Simon's clean look. Missed everything. Shook tries to recover it. Last touch, Bendigo out of bounds. The hand of Maley. She came from out of the shot there, Annalee Maley, just to be able to get herself somewhere near that long rebound. Adelaide keep it 13 on the shot clock, which obviously resets to 14 after the unsuccessful attempt. Wareham drives, puts up a runner, no good. McKay, single dribble, kicks it up the court. Levy has a look herself, gives Bendigo the lead.
It would be a good tactic from Bendigo to keep pushing the ball, really test the first 8 seconds of that shot clock, and see if Adelaide, with their subs and that, can keep up with them.
Basham misfires from long range. That's number 9 for Annalee Maley. On a rebounding count, a rebounding machine that she is. The best we have in the game at the moment. Levy to Goulding, back up top. And Tessa says, look, just slow it down. Still 8 left on the shot clock. Given a cushion, pulls up, left it short. Goulding recovers it. Back up again, no good. Brooke catches down low. She's going to be called for...
I think it's travel, yeah. I think she just lifted her, as she came out of the, you know, caught it low and came out of her stance as she lifted that pivot foot.
Still no points for Adelaide. In this second quarter, they scored the last 11 in the opening term. And through 4 minutes, they haven't got a single point after leading by 7 at quarter time. Momentum with the Spirit. And the Gold Unis. Here's Garrick to Bogue. Neat pass, the basket cut for Maley. And kisses it off the glass with a layup for 2 more.
That was really cagey between the two of them because Maley's been had the hot hand. She was really playing with those defenders. Neither of them do they switch on it, do they? And then Maley dove to the basket and a great answer there.
How about 3 of those? Out of the hand of Brazel in the corner. I think her first points in the game. Taylor Brazel is Maley to answer back at the other end. No good. All locked up at 23. Was Taylor Brazel, the 17-year-old. With possession here in the number 41 singlet. Oh, cutting underneath the basket. Just a little too much on the pass. Here's Ortler, drives inside, running out of time. Scrap underneath the basket. Maley scrapping for it, recovers the ball. Wilson to Levy, into the corner for Garrick for a third triple. No good off the front of the rim. Levy goes, scoop layup, misses. Maley, the putback, fouled. And on the third lick of the ice cream, this time down the floor, they'll finally head to the free throw line to try and make sure of them.
That's the thing, if you're going to get 3 chances at the basket, you're going to score. And there's that lovely slip by Annalie Maley that we saw earlier.
Timeout called. We'll listen in momentarily. All knotted up at 23. The Spirit led the game by 5 in the opening quarter. At quarter time, Adelaide led by 7. But this term, the scoring has all gone the way of Bendigo. 10-3 the run the Spirit's way to start this second quarter, which is 5 minutes old.
You've got to clean up both ends. Okay? Abby, we'll go 40 down.
The trail post for Eucla next time. See if Shook's pass playing you so we can get you on the UCLA cut. So you're in the trail post for Eucla. 22 each time. We've got another 3 stops in a row. Make sure we're in there on rebounds. We had a couple of you. Get all your fucking bodies in there. Let's go. Spirit on 3, 1, 2, 3. Spirit.
They are winning the rebounding count. It just wants a few more bodies in there, Tracy York. 22-17 the score line, plus the rebound count, plus 3 in favour of Bendigo. And Maley has 10 already. 10 rebounds. We're a quarter and a half into the game.
Do you think she emphasised the rebounding?
Yes, said she would like a few more rebounds. Rachel Spawn is with us courtside. Rachel.
Yeah, Chris Lucas not all that happy, obviously, with the start for this second quarter. But, yeah, he said he wants to cleaned up both ends. You know, giving away offensive boards, they're fouling. And they're actually going to go back next time they're in defence. They're going to show zone just for one play, just to change it up a little bit.
Maley misses both. Rachel Spawn, the 5-time WNBL champion, 2-time league MVP with us courtside. 4.5 to go before halftime. Just the 1 make in the quarter for Adelaide. Werung down low. His Shook goes up off the glass.
I liked that. That was such simple basketball, a little pick and roll and the mismatch and Shook going to the basket there. That looked good.
High draft pick in the WNBA back in 2020. Kylie Shook to the Liberty. 196 centimetres, can play inside and out. We've seen her as range like a guard. In the corner, Garrick trying to recapture some of the shooting form in that opening quarter. No good. Werung down low. Shot goes up for Brooke and an easy make. Back-to-back baskets. All of a sudden, Adelaide back out by 4. Oh, Wilson left alone underneath the basket. Catches and sneaking along the baseline makes the easy 2. Alex Wilson, she was the really crime partner for Steph Talbot last year for Adelaide. Now against her old side, tries to draw the foul. And the ref's buying what she's selling. Foul on the offense, called on Kylie Shook. What do you think of this one, Laurie?
Well, I like the fact that she was down low and using her body and being physical. Those are so hard.
Wilson, two-time champion, won a title with Townsville and Sydney. Joined the Spirit mid-December. Spent last year, obviously, the hub season up in North Queensland with Adelaide. A pretty nice year, too, for alongside Steph Talbot. Talbot winning the MVP, and Wilson, nice contributions in a side which didn't feature in the playoffs. Oh, Maley through the advertising hoardings.
But got rewarded, and
yes,
it's still a Bendigo ball.
That banner there, the Lights, that's the venue. The Lights Community and Sports Centre, that's in Lights View in South Australia. New venue for the Lightning. Garrick pulls up. Deep two, no good. Last touch, Spirit. The Adelaide ball here, 3 to go before half-time.
Rachel, I'd be interested to know what you thought of that last foul, because, you know, we've often talked about the bigs now. It's sort of lacking in our game, the fact that they go inside and they're physical and they use their body. Did you get a good look at that?
Sorry, Laurie, I can't hear you properly at the moment. I'll get back to you on that.
New venue, the Lights very loud. Looks a treat too. The Lightning 2-2 there this year. They've had wins over the Lynx and the Boomers, who we both think are in title contention, and then losses to Canberra and Townsville. And they're probably the 5 teams that I think you've outlined, Laurie, as the 5 teams that are the teams to look out for on the run home.
Yeah, I certainly think so.
Can it be the Spirit's day on a 6-game losing streak against a depleted Adelaide team? Garrick gets herself into double figures. She's up to 10.
It's good to see Garrick put the ball to the floor. We know she's got good handles and that she doesn't just have to stay out at that 3-point line.
Brooke catches on the perimeter, trying to find Shook. Bogue in the passing lane, in the open floor, lays it in, and the Spirit are back in front. 3rd lead change of the quarter, 4th in the game. Timeout called by Chris Lucas, 2 to go before halftime. Here's the Garrick make, and then the anticipation from Carly Bogue. Rewarded as well in the open court.
Two really nice plays back-to-back by Bendigo. Let's see them take this lead now.
Carly Bogue, Tamworth Junior, first year at Bendigo, only previous 4 years in the league, all with Sydney. Now let's listen in. Here's Chris Lucas, coach of the Lightning.
They're challenging the passes, so you need to do your work early to get open. Sprint, okay, rip off her back. Okay, so you should be able to hammer here and get that off the ball. All right, guys, out of the timeout here. 3 stops in a row. That means possession play. I don't want to see this anymore. Possessions, come on.
Decipher that for us, Laurie. What does he mean by that? We don't want to see this anymore.
Well, I think when he talked about doing your work early, so if you know in the offense that the balls should be coming to you, you've got to take your defender somewhere or seal them and really make sure you've got a good lead to get it, because right now, as he said, that they're getting too many steals, they're getting too many passes.
$16 points in the quarter for the Spirit, just 7 for Adelaide. Full court trap on, they work their way through it. The Lightning, the Navy. Here's Brooke, 10 left on the shot clock. Brooke just bangs bodies with McLean, knocks her out of the way. Then Maley comes up with a rebound for Bendigo. Out to the corner. Levy back up top to Maley. Thought about the look. Down low. And McLean retreats. It's stagnant here on the offense, Bendigo. McLean gets a clean look for 3. Rattles out. Maley pulls down the O-board. The putback, she's fouled. And Adelaide Maley to head to the line to shoot a couple.
Dude, there were a couple of times in that play phase where I thought Levy could have shot it or Annalie Maley from outside could have shot it.
Bendigo have taken 14 threes. Laurie Chiswick, they've made 3 of them. Adelaide are 2 of 8. Maley missed both last set at the free throw line, makes her first. Two from 2 on this trip. Spirit back up by 4. How do you see it courtside, Rachel Spawn?
Yeah, look, it's been a topsy-turvy game, hasn't it? Momentum's an amazing thing in basketball, and look, this has been a great quarter by Bendigo, because now they're the ones that are starving Lightning of points. So really setting it up for an interesting second half.
11-point turnaround in the quarter. Tough mate, Chelsea Brook. Over the outstretched hand of Bogue, knocks it down. Back to a 2-point game.
Brooke is up to 12 points now. She leads all scorers, so she's certainly adding her impetus to this game, scoring-wise.
Maley a little long on the 3-point attempt. Lightning back the other way. Here's Brooke. Thought about it to Whittle. Back low to Brooke. Off her hands. It's claimed by McLean. Out to Garrick. Thought about the 3. Gone a little cold from outside. Dribble penetration. She's fouled. Maddie Garrick to head to the line. So Garrick has 10 points. She had 8 of them really early, though, in the game. Making her first 2 looks from 3-point land. She's now 2 of 6.
But I like how she's made a few adjustments. So she was hot from the 3-point line, and then she's cooled off from there. But now she's doing things by putting the ball to the floor, attacking her defender, and finding herself at the foul line.
This is the first, uncharacteristically. 2-time champion Maddie Garrick back home at Bendigo this year. Represented the Opals, represented Australia in 3x3 basketball. Gets it to 3 points after making the second. Bendigo defending the whole floor at the moment. 8 seconds to go before halftime. Werrung drives inside, shot blocked. Garrick got a hand on it. Final second or so. Maley pops it up from half court. Misses. She may have released it just a little late as well, but it won't matter. The Spirit lead by 3. A 10-point swing in the quarter. Bendigo 32, Adelaide 29. And at one stage, they trailed this ball game, Bendigo, by 7. They lead it by 3 at the half. Entertaining quarter of basketball, Laurie Chiswick. 4 lead changes in the game, 3 of them in that quarter.
Well, that was really impressive to see the way Bendigo came out, particularly in that second quarter. To be down by 7 and then end up 3. They've put a lot of scoreboard pressure on the Adelaide Lightning, and will go into halftime feeling really confident.
32-29. Chelsea Brook with 12. Garrick with 11, the leading scorers. It's the Spirit by 3 at halftime. Rachel Spawn with us courtside. Rachel.
Well, Chelsea, magnificent job by you personally. Now, you average 19 minutes a game. I think you've nearly played that in the first half, but how are you feeling energy-wise from that first half?
Yeah, I think we knew it was always going to be tough having Taubes line out, so we've been training all week, so I think, the girls are ready and we're excited.
And how are you finding, like with the young ones coming off the bench, what was the messaging from Chris for that group all through the week?
Just to play, bring what we can bring off the bench, and we've been training hard, so I think, it's the experience and the opportunity for those girls to get some game time. So I think everybody's excited and ready to give it a go.
And I'm sure that Chris will be messaging that, look after the ball, no more offensive rebounds, because that's what Bendigo is so good at. So I think standing in good stead, only 3 down. So what are you looking for in the second half?
Yeah, definitely. I think limit their offensive rebounds. That's something we spoke about during the week, and we're probably a bit disappointed with how many we've let them get so far. And just our defence, we try and pride ourselves on being a good defensive team, and we're letting them get some easy putbacks and easy lanes. So I think just lock that down in the second half.
Well done so far, Chelsea. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks to Chelsea Brook and thanks to Rachel Spawn. She's been excellent. Chelsea with 12 points leads all scorers. their starters. Now, we have had the opportunity to meet one of the young up-and-comers of the Adelaide Lightning team, so obviously with a couple of key players missing, it means that we get the chance to familiarise ourselves with some new faces, and one of them is Sam Simons, who had the opportunity to catch up with our own Rachel Spawn pre-game.
Well, Sam, I've enjoyed watching your basketball journey since under-10s at Forestville Eagles, and it's culminated in state and national representation at the junior level, and you also had a stint at St Mary's College. Now, once COVID hit, you came home and you didn't return, which we're actually delighted about. What led you to that decision?
I think the opportunity to play with the Lightning so early in my career, St Mary's was a massive opportunity for me, and I'm so glad that I did it, but I kind of got the best of both worlds by kind of leaving a bit early.
And on December 10, your WNBL dream was fulfilled, played for Adelaide Lightning, and as fate would have it, your opponent was Townsville Fire. So you're on the court at the same time as your idol growing up, Mia Murray. And now I love this photo, the then and now photo of Mia holding you when she was just 12 years old and you're a 6-month-old baby. So we fast forward 21 years and you end up standing together arm in arm. What a moment.
Yeah, it was really cool because Mia's obviously a Forestville girl as well, so we grew up at the same club. She held me when I was a baby, which was a pretty cool moment to play against someone that I've idolised my whole career and kind of watched growing up. So yeah, it was a really cool moment and something I won't forget.
And you look really comfortable, never tentative on the floor. So what has Chris Lucas determined your role to be when you are out on the court?
I guess my minutes can vary each week, and that's okay. It's my first year in the league, but he's just kind of told me to come in and make an impact and be aggressive, so that's what I try and do.
Well, Sam, we love what you're doing on the floor, and best of luck today.
Thanks, Rach.
It's been a well-trodden path. St Mary's, so many great Australian players over the years, and Sam Simons now here in the big league in the WNBL. Rachel Spawn's courtside. You've got a few more members of the Simons family alongside you, Rachel.
Some very special people, Corbin. I have Sam's parents, Sharon and Andy. Now, Sam comes from great basketball pedigree because both Sharon and Andy played in the WNBL and NBL with really distinguished playing careers. And now, Sharon, both of you are coaching. You have a lot to do with junior development in the state. You must be delighted that Sam has gone through that pathway and has fulfilled her dream of playing in the WNBL.
Yeah, it's great to have Sam home. We're really lucky she's playing with the Adelaide Lightning. We're absolutely thrilled. The junior development side, we're just happy that we've been able to help instill some good habits for Samantha, and you know what we try to do for all the kids that we coach, and then what they do with that from there is up to them. So it's great having her home though.
And Andy, can you tell us a little bit about Sam's work ethic away from the Lightning program? Because I know you did a lot of work with her when COVID hit.
Yeah, I think Sam, like any kid that gets to this level, realises you have to do a lot of work away from practice, and COVID gave us a good opportunity to do that and really work on skills rather than touch. And yeah, I mean, not only myself, Sharon, Simon Pritchard really did a lot of work, as did Chris. So she's very lucky with the exposure she's had to good coaches.
Well, thank you so much for your time. You must be so proud. She's been out there for 17 minutes already, and I know you wanted to do a little bit more, Andy. You're a tough parent, but hey, she's played a lot of minutes, so she's doing a great thing. Back to you, Corbin and Laurie.
Thanks, Rachel. A great sporting family and great basketball family at that, the Simons. So best of luck to Sam for the remainder of her career. Let's see what she can do in the second half. As you can see, the second half action is upon us. It's all coming up next. Bendigo lead it by 3 at halftime. Spirit by 3 points. They did trail by as many as 7 at quarter time. They outscored Adelaide 19-9 in this second quarter. If you're just flicking on the TV and you think the Adelaide Lightning, they're 5-2, Bendigo are 1-7. Well, Bendigo may be on a 6-game losing sequence, but they're fully loaded. They've had COVID problems in recent times at really almost full strength, with the exception of Piper Dunlop missing one of their main 10 rostered players. She's out with a knee complaint. Everyone else is there, including all their starters, while for Adelaide, they're without Alana Smith and Steph Talbot, who are off to play for the Opals. They're headed to Serbia. And to make matters worse, Kiana Williams, who has that ankle complaint after the collision with Zatina Rakuzo last week. And she failed a fitness test this morning, so they won't be getting her back for this game. She's not suited up. We've got a few new faces among the starters for Adelaide. So Brooke is the leading scorer in the game with 12. Simons, Warung, Whittle and Shook. And for Bendigo, it's Garrick, Maley, Wilson, Lavey and McKay. What are we in for here, Laurie Chiswick?
Well, it'd be interesting. Look at the stats at halftime, whether, you know, Adelaide playing a little bit of zone might help their cause, given that Bendigo is shooting the 3 ball at only 20%. So we'll see if that happens to feature in Chris's defense.
Kylie Shook with a big no thanks to Annalee Maley on her first layup attempt. Whittle's fouled. And have a look at this again. Off the handoff, I'll just put that up. No, you won't. And Wilson called for the reach in. Rachel Spawn.
Yes, I listened into Chris Lucas's huddle, and he's wanting better D in this third quarter and for the rest of the game. Better closeouts, big hands on the shooter, and composure. 9 turnovers is way too many. And he highlighted Maley's 12 rebounds, and he said, as a group, they have to keep her off the boards.
Wilson just with the radar a little off, missed everything. That's very uncharacteristic on the clean look. A great season last year alongside Steph Talbot as the 2 wings for Adelaide. Turnover, nice work. Maley and Lavey force that. Wilson has another look, dribbles inside, Lavey up top and left it short. O'Board, number 14, a rebound count for Maley and a putback. Bendigo by 5, their equal game high.
She is just a radar when it comes to somebody shooting it and her being able to find it.
Oh, another turnover. Lavey picks the pocket of Simons and lays it in. Bendigo by 7. This is as wide as it's been in the game. Warung, handoff. Easy points. Shook off the glass.
Adelaide need to make sure they're staying totally focused on what they do. So when they catch the ball, you've got to do the little things and you cut hard. And because right now, Bendigo are doing some things to them that are, oh, nice turnover there. They've just got to be sharper in what they're doing.
Now the numbers already for Annalee Maley after being 9-13 in the first half alone. She's now up to 11-14. And there's Lavey, that high basketball IQ with the anticipation. And the points downhill.
I like how Bendigo are just sort of slightly putting on a soft full court zone press just to take some time off the clock. And you see there's only 10 seconds now and they're starting their offense.
Warung bounce pass.
Nice.
Brooke lays it in and 1 to come.
2 great passes by Abby Warung that have resulted in both easy layups for her teammates.
Having a career night. Chelsea Brooke, more minutes. In the absence of the big 3. She's up to 14 already. Misses the second. Ooh, last touch of Bendigo over the baseline. Really wasn't happy with it. 2 refs both in agreement on the baseline and the sideline, and it'll be Adelaide ball. Okay, knocks it back out of bounds. And 1 shot away from tying up the game after trailing by 7 just a minute and a half ago. Four lead changes in the game, 3 of them in the second quarter. Oh, Maley just scraps for every bit, lays it up and finishes.
That's just effort. That was pure and simply effort on Maley's part and desperation to come up with the basketball and then finish it.
She's such a talent, Adelaide Maley. Up top, the three-point attempt from Whittle, no good. It's Maley again, passing through to grab her 15th board, lays it up, is fouled and finishes. And Adelaide Maley's putting on a show.
Isn't she ever? She at both ends of the court. Again, that's just like I say, effort there, and then her finish, her focus. She is so focused right now on what she's doing. And I've mentioned this before previously when we've seen Annalie play. The beauty of her is that she gets so many rebounds, defensive rebounds, and can push the ball up the floor the whole way.
Oh, misses. She's left a couple out there at the free throw line, Maley. She's 2 of 6. Rachel Spawn.
Well, it's just wonderful to watch Annalie Maley because you're seeing an athlete just put in so much effort, and isn't she a wonderful role model for all those youngsters out there to just show if you have that desperation and that want, you can do anything, and it's just great to be here witnessing it.
She's having a monster night, 15 and 15 already. 17 minutes left in the game. Opals camp during the week, not picked in the eventual squad.
Hopefully that's her first camp of many to come, and it was a good experience for her, and she learned from it and grew from it. But what an impressive display she's putting on this afternoon.
Lady threads it through to Maley, and Maley with the neat J. It's up to 9. A game-high lead for the Spirit.
She just hasn't stopped moving. You know, you just see in this play phase, Levy's driving and Annalie's just on the move, moving off the ball, getting herself open.
She's a 5 that can't be put out at the moment. Adelaide Maley, 17 and 15 her numbers. Lots to talk about for Chris Lucas, multiple-time championship-winning coach. Here's the Adelaide Lightning huddle.
Can someone come back and smash that? All right, so I want to keep it nice and simple now. We're in drags, movement. We're in step-ups, hammer, or 40s. Or 40s, that's it. All right. So the issue is right now is everyone's catching on the back foot. Everyone. Okay, because there's pressure. Get on the front foot and make them make a call. All right. 3 stops in a row out of the timeout. Mindset here. You help carry a little bit. Drags, step ups, 40s. Movement. All right, way to go.
They've been outscored, Adelaide, 13 to 29 after quarter time. Led the game by 7 at the quarter time break. And that woman is largely responsible. 17 and 15 the numbers for Annalie Maley.
I'm a bit surprised in that timeout. Chris Lucas didn't really talk about any defense at all. It was all about what he wanted to do offensively. Yet Bendigo have scored 42 points, and we're not even halfway through this third quarter.
Rachel Spawn, courtside. How do you see it, Rachel?
Yeah, look, just from Chase York, she's so happy with their defense, and that's what it's come about. She said she's wrapped with their online ball, so on screen on the ball D. That's what's given them a few steals, and we know that Adelaide are susceptible to those turnovers. And also, like you said, Laurie, I think this press is a great thing to do at the moment because Adelaide are second-guessing themselves a little bit, and when you've got pressure like that from Maley, steals are there to take.
She only just got it over the halfway line in time. Look a little rattled at the moment, Adelaide. Need something to settle them. Can it come from Werung in the corner? Yes. The corner 3 for Abby Werung.
Oh, everybody will be breathing a sigh of relief. It was really good ball movement, making that extra pass to Abby Werung in the corner, and a nice finish by her.
2-possession game after all that. Back to 3. More points for Maley. Lays it in. 19 and 15 her numbers. Still a quarter and a half to go. And Shook and McCain are tangled down low. Chance in transition for the Spirit. Lead by 8. Garrick to make it double digits. Basham blocks the shot. Maley scrapping after it again. The putback for 2 more. She's into the 20s.
You see, she realized that Maddie Garrett maybe was going to shoot that, so she was just getting in there to position herself for a rebound and came up with the scraps.
She is having a night out. And they are rolling at the moment, Bendigo. It's up to 10 points. Hasn't been this wide either way in the entire game. McKay down low. Garrick, pump fake, puts it up off the iron. And Brooke pulls down the board. Brooke just pulls up for 3, a little long. And the Spirit recover it. Levy to Wilson, 10 left on the shot clock. Garrick free in the corner, the extra pass. Garrick for the triple, a little long. Maley on it again. Maley reverse layup doesn't go. And Adelaide will come up with it through Werung. Maley forces a turnover. Picks the pocket of Werung. And the Spirit back the other way. Both sides of the ball all night for Adelaide Maley. A handoff to McKay. Now an assist too. Is there anything she can't do at the moment, Adelaide Maley?
Bendigo are just playing like such a team out there, making the extra pass, seeing who's going from a good shot to a great shot.
Brooke, angled 3, doesn't take it. Werung's almost out of room. 6 left on the shot clock. Werung drives, tough shot goes up, no good. Put back from Brooke, and a basket for Adelaide. Much needed. Rachel Spawn.
And boy, didn't they need that. I just think what we're seeing, I guess, when you're missing Steph Talbot, Lena Smith-Williams, there's a little bit of lack of leadership out there at the moment for Lightning. And I'd really love to see them, you know, get in a huddle when they can and take ownership of every player that they're guarding.
You got 5 on 4 down the floor here. Basham pulls up off the dribble. Got it. An answering 3, back to 7 points.
That just gives them a little breathing room. Still lots of time to you know, take this margin back in going into the 4th quarter.
Maley's stat line is outrageous. 21 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. 8 of 17 shooting.
You know, it's really nice to see a player when they do come from Opals camp and they miss the opportunity. It can either go 2 ways. You can be sort of really disappointed, which I'm sure she's disappointed, or you can have learned from it and taken things and look how she's playing now. She's playing like an Opal, so, you know, she'll get more chances. And I think what a great attitude she's got right now in today's game.
Goulding, bounce pass down low to Bogue. Oh, 3 seconds in the key. Bendigo hand possession back. So for everything that's happened this quarter and the wave that Bendigo have created, they still have only extended their halftime lead by 4.
I was seeing that exact thing, Corbin. It feels like Bendigo should be 20 up, and Adelaide, to their credit, are hanging around.
7-point game. Basham for back-to-back 3s. Not on this occasion. Maley take it all the way. Kicks it out. Up top, 3-point attempt from Skinner. No good. Hand on it on the way through. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Off the back of the board. No good. Goulding recovers it. The O-board to Bogue, and Bogue with the easy make. Unguarded down low. Back to 9. He's Shook, the import, has a pocket pick. Make that another steal for Maley. Here she goes downhill, fouled on the way there. And Adelaide Maley to head to the charity stripe for some more.
Just active hands.
That's her 5th steal in the game. 18 rebounds, 21 points, 3 assists.
Has she subbed off yet?
Oh, it's phenomenal. That's a gaudy stat line at the end of the game. There's still a better part of 12 minutes to go in the match. And she doesn't look like she's slowing down. Up to 22.
I think Rachel did make a very good point about leadership and settling people and knowing just how to galvanize the group. And when you're lacking that out there, you realize the importance of it from people like your leaders, like Alana Smith, Steph Talbot.
She's missed 4 free throws as well, Maley. It's about been the only knock on her game today. And Badish out there for some minutes is Brazel to Ortlip, the handoff to Whittle. Whittle puts up a tough shot, but not before she went for a walk, called for the travel. 10-point game, Bendigo get it back. Here's Demi Skinner, who we didn't see in the first half. Bowed down low, Maley up through hands, finishes over Whittle.
One thing I think that Bendigo is doing really well, which I haven't seen a lot in their previous games, is their great three. I'll just recognize that before I go on, but they're setting good screens in this flex offense, and they're using them, and it's getting them really some open looks.
Brazel, 2 3-point attempts, has made them both. The 17-year-old. Back to 9. To get it out to double digits. Levy misses from long range. They all bang bodies underneath the basket. And it's Whittle and Maley who both end up on the hardwood. I thought they'd get the chance to guard one another at different stages today. There's Maley finishing over the top of Whittle. The power couple in one of the power couples in the league, the WNBL, and up against each other today. So far, Adelaide Maley with the bragging rights at home.
Absolutely.
Whittle trying to do something about that. Swings it to the weak side to Ortlip, back to Whittle. Whittle up top, misfires. Whittle will have another go. Lays it up, some points for Whittle with the left hand.
That was good second and third efforts by Adelaide. They didn't give up, they didn't stop.
Levy, step back, 3, fills it up. And Tessa Levy drains a triple of her own to get it back to 10.
Wow, that was impressive. That, you know, she looked like she was maybe going to set things up, a little step, then a step back. Drained it.
And Chris Lucas says time out. In fact, no, he doesn't. We're saying timeout. We're done through 3 quarters. It's the Spirit 56, Adelaide 46. Chris Lucas, I promise, will be happy about it anyway. Final quarter action coming up next.
Everyone who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough, wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. And do we dunk? Hell yeah. When we roll onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
So you're here, Braz. Okay, Chelsea's here. Come off this hard. Okay, sprint down. Chelsea's got you. All right, we're in 5 out. We're moving the basketball. Now we have to rebound. We have to rebound, everyone.
We know the corners.
I don't care.
There's like 3 people trapping. Like, no, there's 2 people wide open.
Move the basketball. Hey, move the basketball. Get to the foul line. One at a time. One at a time. Let's go.
4 possession game as we turn for home, 56-46. It's the Bendigo Spirit who lead. I could read a bunch of numbers, Laurie Chiswick, but the numbers that really concern me: Annalee Maley, 24 points, 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals through 3 quarters. One hell of a game already.
Well, she's leading this by example for the rest of her teammates, and her teammates, you know, they're getting her the ball where she, you know, when she's open and she's moving off the ball, they're finding her, and she's creating for herself. So, wow, she's impressive. As has Brooke been for Adelaide. 16 points for her, and you know, stepping into that starting lineup, that's really good for her.
Rachel Spawn courtside.
Yes, look, Tessa Lavey had a lot to do in that timeout, saying that they really want to still look after the ball and work the ball through hands. And Tracy York made a great comment and said, keep respecting our opponents. Even though, you know, there's a lot of young players out there, the respect is very high for this group.
Well, that's a really important message, Rach, because there's still 10 minutes to play in this game, and you know, Adelaide, whilst they've got some guns missing, they still have some very good players on the court, and it could turn around. So Bendigo do really have to stay focused.
And winning has not come easy for Bendigo in recent times. They are on a 6-game losing skid at the moment. Here's Maley. A little step back, Jay, no good. Remembering last year they went 0-13 throughout the season. So just 1 win over the last 2 years, trying to make it 2 today. And Ortlup's shot is blocked. Got 9.5 minutes ahead of them and lead by 10. Goulding now whacking the ball away from Taylor Ortlup. Brazel, she's 2 of 2 from long range. The teenager drives inside, puts up the runner, doesn't go. Falls down to Lady. 9 to play. Tessa Lavey, primary employer with the Bendigo Spirit. We always touch on the fact she's also listed with Richmond in the AFLW. So they play tomorrow for what it's worth, as Lavey, Maley, in fact, on the end of that misses. It's a big weekend, isn't it? A game in Adelaide and then back up and play footy tomorrow.
Well, she had a big, same sort of schedule last weekend as well.
Get a look at this again, the drive from Werung. Mate, just taking a little bit of the wind out of Mary Goulding as well. Foul shots coming up for the 26-year-old. She hits her first. She was part of the last Opals team we sent away over to the Asia Cup. Ballarat Junior. Playing against Bendigo, and I don't need to tell you, Laurie Chiswick, that there's 2 towns that don't really like each other all that much. So I'm sure she'll have the support of Ballarat today. That'll be Werung. Back to 8 points. Garrick off the dribble. No good. Werung scrapping for the rebound. Comes up with it. You don't often pull one away from Maley. Just an 8-point game. Basham puts the shot up. Gets the shooter's roll. Hold the phone, Laurie. It's back to 6 points.
It is, and a very good timeout call by Tracy York, because as we know, Adelaide can put on a few points even if those stars aren't there. That's a really good look by Basham there. Nice pull-up jumper.
When you haven't won in a while, Laurie, you don't want a tense finish, do you? Just don't want to make it 2 tenths down the stretch. All of a sudden, the pressure shifts back onto you. Can you convert from this position? They're 6 clear. We'll have a listen in here.
Don't overhelp. She's coming into the line here. Okay? You stay at home, all right? Guys, yellows with Chelsea, so you stay at it. Just talk it. Get over if you can. Head switching though. Make sure we hard switch.
That's the voice of Chris Lucas. This is Tracy York and her huddle. Bendigo Spirit now by just 6. They did get it right out at one point in that third quarter. They led by as many as 12 by my count. And here's Adelaide without a bunch of their starters today. 3 missing. Talbot and Smith on their way to Serbia to play for the Opals. And Kiana Williams, who can really go. It's their guard there behind Chris Lucas. In the street clothes today. She's out with an ankle injury.
This is where the coaches earn their money. You know, a close game. Different people on the court. Strategies come into play.
All of a sudden, Adelaide have a bit of a sniff. After being down by 12, they're within 2 possessions. Bendigo have the ball for now, though. 8 to play. Garrick, who started hot, has 11. Off the dribble, goes to work on Brazel. Tough shot up, a little long, top of the backboard. McKay pulls it down. She's fouled. The hand reaching in from Chelsea Brooke. All right, personal foul update. Laurie, as we head into the last. 4 on Abby Werung. 3 on Ortlup. There isn't a single player with more than 2 from Bendigo's team.
The concerns for me for Adelaide on the stat line are 17 turnovers and 14 O-boards for Bendigo. If they don't take care of those 2 things, it's going to be really hard to get over the line.
1 of 2, 7-point lead for the Spirit. Basham again pulls up in transition. Shooting early in the 24 and it doesn't go.
Well, one, it doesn't give you any rebounders. It doesn't give Bendigo any chance to foul you and send you to the line.
Garrick deep 2's long. I'll get another look at it. 7-point game. Garrick puts up the runner. Oh, does everything but drop. McKay the putback. Second attempt up. Again, it doesn't go. 3 missed shots, and now Adelaide recover the ball through Brazel. Basham tries to take it to the rack. A hand on it from Garrick. Over the baseline, Adelaide ball. Gee, they would have thought they would have made one of those, I'm sure, the Spirit. Would have come at a good time too, Laurie. Just 9 points, a little different than 7 when you hand possession back.
Oh, well, McKay did a great job of rolling off that screen, but just couldn't finish for all those opportunities. See another missed opportunity there by Taylor Ortliff.
7 to go. Seven the spread.
So now Bendigo don't look like they're moving at all. There's a lot of people standing. I know they're trying to spread out the defense.
McKay, strong rebound and the putback. She's fouled. She'll head to the line again to shoot 2. Sorry, just expand on that for us, Laurie.
Well, Bendigo everybody was out past the 3-point line and just standing. So whilst they're trying to spread the defense out, you need to have some sort of movement out there. McKay's doing a great job of doing when she sets that screen, she's rolling hard to the basket. So even though she hasn't gotten it to score, she's there to mop up the rebounds and get the O-boards and try and get the putbacks, and finds herself at the foul line.
She has 9 rebounds, 4 of them on the offensive end. Rachel Spawns with us courtside. Rachel, take us inside the building. What's the feeling like?
Yeah, look, they're trying to get the crowd involved. They're stamping their feet, which is pretty awesome. They're happy that that foul shot was missed, but I think she's going to have another one. Someone went in early. But I'm just thinking that Adelaide have gone with a smaller lineup, but they just brought in Shook and Simons, and Brooke sat down, and I think Mackay has taken over from Maley with the rebounding, and I'd say that Maley would have to be a little bit fatigued because of the game she's had, but well done to Mackay for stepping up.
So she's 2 of 4 at the free throw line now, Megan. Back to 8 points. She has 9 rebounds as well. Werung pulls up off the dribble, off target. Brazel, a long rebound. Werung to Shook. Tries to go to work on Maley. Maley cleared out. Shook finishes with the jumper on the baseline. And Maley's not happy with the call. It's back to 6. How'd you see that, Laurie?
I think it was a good no call. Yep.
Kylie Shook's game, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Their only import out there today for Adelaide. 6 to go, 6-point lead for Bendigo. They did lead by as many as 12. And Levy just gets it to Maley. Out to Wilson. Back to Levy. Catch and shoot for 3. And what a calming influence she is, Tessa Levy.
That was such a good shot. She caught it in rhythm, 1-2, and let it go.
Just to release a little bit of the tension on Bendigo, and I'm sure a bunch of their fans watching back at home. Just the 1 win in 2 seasons. 6-game losing skid. Up by 9 now. Halfway through this final quarter. Wilson to the weak side corner. Garrick got it. Garrick's got it. Her third made 3. And after the hot start, a fluent finish for Maddie Garrick. It's 12 the spread again.
Oh, and you just felt like Adelaide were coming back. It's, you know, a couple of daggers in their threes, but really good poise by Bendigo to recognize who was open.
Maddie Garrick hit 2 threes out of the gate, had 8 in the opening quarter. That's her third make from long range. She's up to 14. Second leading scorer for the Spirit behind Maley's 24. Tessa Levy also in double digits now with 12. And Bendigo back to an equal game high 12-point buffer. Coach Chris Lucas.
Split's already here. Okay? All right. You're going to go pump. Pump. All right, get into it quickly. If they're in zone, Kylie, you just step into the foul line area. Okay? You go low, stretch your floor. Okay? All right? Otherwise, we're in pump. Okay? We need to get stops here now. I know where the shooters are. All right, let's go. Come on.
Shotgun 3, 1, 2, 3. Right.
It's true, if they can come up with a few stops and scores on their own, they just bring it right back up. And when you have that scoreboard pressure on you, you know, Bendigo have been in that position before where they've been up and then gotten overrun. So they'd be wanting to keep this margin the way it is right now.
They got a lot of young talent, Bendigo, with Maley and McKay, obviously the breakout player of the competition last year. But just when you need a couple of wise heads to step up and close, back-to-back threes for Levy and Garrick to get it back to 12. Rachel Spawn courtside.
Yeah, Tracy York's so happy with how they're playing out there, and they're going through like longer offences, changing sides, getting that inside-outside action, run that clock down now. And defensively, you'll see after a score, they're going to do a 2-2 press back to man-to-man.
Wilson, clean look, extra pass. Garrick, 3 more. Rims out. Maley, another board. Rips it down for the Spirit and then throws it away. Maley up to 24 and 19. Nearly has a 20-point triple-double. Shook makes another final quarter basket, so Kylie Shook's now up to 8. She had only 2 in the game to three-quarter time. 4.5 to go. Wilson takes it all the way to the rack, and in attack mode, she's fouled. She'll head to the line. Never hurts when you get hit right on the beak. Sorry, it always hurts. It never feels good. That's what I meant to say. Doesn't tickle Laurie?
No.
Misses the first. They've left some foul shots out there, Bendigo. They're 6 of 14.
Yeah, that's 43%. You really want to be up at around that 75%.
About 6 of 15. 12-point game. Werung driving, fouled by Maley. For those of you playing at home with Adelaide Maley's stat line, 24-19, 5 steals, 3 assists. That's her third personal foul. Of her 19 rebounds, 6 have come on the offensive end. Adelaide have only had 9 O-boards in a game as a collective.
Eight-point game with 4 minutes to go is still very doable for Adelaide.
So don't blow out the candles just yet.
No. Is that what you say?
We're rolling. Four to go. 8-point lead for the Spirit. Garrick for 3. Got it. Fills it up again. Maddie Garrick on the triple.
That hurts. That hurts if you're Adelaide.
Hit 2 threes in the opening quarter and has now hit 2 in the last. Garrick up to 17 for the game. Simons thought about the look. Dribbles inside from the elbow. That's nice.
Really good. Went around her first line of defense and saw there was a person waiting for her. Just pulled up nicely.
3.5 to go. Still at 9. Wilson to Levy. Off the dribble. Takes on Simons. Wilson up top. Maley. Baseline Jade. Misses. 3 to go. Brazel in the corner, down low, short the spin move. And then it rattles in for her, so back to 7 points.
I like the input that Shook's having, just a presence inside, finishing well.
There are a few pages left in this game. Garrick down to McKay, and McKay to make off the glass. Handy bucket for the Spirit. They needed it. Won that trip down the floor just to keep Adelaide at bay. And it's back to 9 points again with 2.5 to go.
I really like Maddie Garrett's game right now, from her scoring, from her penetration to her assists. She's playing a real leader out there on the court.
McKay's up to 8 and 9 in the game. 4 of those rebounds in the offensive end. Here's Tracy York, coach of the Spirit.
2 minutes to go. Get your bodies in there. Patience in actions. Set some screens. All right? Can we go the loop to loop away and get that side done? Right? You just don't have to call it. I don't hand at the moment. We're playing too far off the big girl. All right? Defensively, we're straight back to the half-court D, because they're coming on the downhill run. All right? Get your bodies there, show everybody in the paint. Don't try to steal the ball off anyone. Play in front, get your bodies there and stay together. And if there's any worry, we just go head tap for a play. All right? Spread them out. Bring us up.
I really like that last message that Tracy York said about not stealing the ball, because if you go after a steal and you lunge forward and you don't get the steal, now you're playing 5-on-4. And so she wants to just play it safe right now. Rock solid defense. Keep your man in front of you. Don't take any chances. Dropping it back to the half court, as we can see here.
Bendigo lead by 9. Adelaide with possession in the blue uniforms. Warung to Ortler, back to Abby Warung. Drives inside, tough shot goes up. Shook recovers it, spin move, shot's good. Back to 7 points, 2 minutes and change to go. A big last quarter. 8 points in the turn for Kylie Shook.
All inside too.
Final 2 minutes. McKay with the handoff. Garrick, who's had a big night. Back out to Maley, the biggest night of them all. She misses just off the side of the rim. Maley pulls down another rebound, and the putback scored. A monster night for Adelaide Maley.
Again, that was nothing about technique. That was just all effort. All effort.
A 20-20 double-double, 26 and 21 for Adelaide Maley. A 9-point lead for the Spirit, and they get the stop. 90 seconds to go, and this losing run's about to come to an end. Levy, their floor general, back to Wilson. Off target. Levy recovers it. Reset that clock to 14. They've responded to every push. Wilson in the corner. That's just about game.
Tessa Levy really taking control in this last quarter, really. The tempo that she's wanting things to run, what she's calling for her teammates.
We're into the final minute now. Basham to answer back with 3. Desperation belongs to them. It won't go. And the Spirit can just slowly work it up into the front court. 0-13 last season, 1-7 on the year. 6-game losing skid coming in. And it's all about to end here. Finally back with their best team out there on the floor against a side who's been hit hard by national duties and injury. And the shot clock lights up, but it won't really matter for the Spirit. Final 25 seconds. Adelaide a last lick at it offensively. Wareham, shot rattles out. And that'll do us as Levy given the ball to walk it into the front court. And the Bendigo Spirit, for just the second time this year, are going to get out of here with the W. They come to Adelaide and take down the Lightning. The Spirit with their second win on the year. They beat Adelaide by 12. 74-62 to turn out the lights.
Well, it's good to see the smile on the faces of the Bendigo Spirit. That was a hard-fought game, and you know, for Adelaide, well, they really hung in there. There were times where we just thought, you know, it felt like it was blowing out, and you'd say, no, they're only down by 7. So, you know, it was a brave effort by Adelaide, who were really, really undermanned.
Fun game of basketball. Lightning significantly undermanned without Talbot and Smith both away with the Aussies, and Kiana Williams, who just saw on screen their star import guard missing with an ankle injury. And yet they led by 7, Adelaide, despite all of that at quarter time. Fell behind in the second quarter and never recovered. We had 4 lead changes in the game. They all came in the first half. They led by 3 at the half. The Spirit, they led by 10 at three-quarter time, and they win the game by 12. Annalee Maley's stat line is ridiculous. 26 points, 21 rebounds, 7 of them on the offensive end. She had 3 assists and also 5 steals, if you don't mind, coming back from Opals camp during the week. So a hard week of training. Great to be involved. Not part of the final team to head away, but comes back and plays absolutely lights out. Laurie Chiswick, the first game back for the Spirit.
Well, what a great approach she had coming into this game. As I mentioned in the call, you know, she would be disappointed, but she certainly didn't show it today. She showed why she was invited to camp and why I'm sure she'll be invited to a lot more camps in the future.
She's the answer to the question, who is my favourite player in the competition at the moment? Annalee Maley, and I'm sure that goes for a lot of people in the basketball universe at the moment. She's alongside Rachel Spawn. Rachel.
Annalee, you're like a woman possessed. That was amazing. 26 points, 21 rebounds, 5 steals. Now, I know you do that to get the wind, but personally, that must have felt good.
Look, I just went out and played hard. You know, like the group of girls, we all get on so well, and we have this thing where we get on the floor and we want to play for each other. So, yeah, no, it felt nice, and we deserved that win. We played so hard, and we played as a team, and I think we had all 5 starters in double figures, and yeah, that was just a fun game of basketball, I think.
You only came off for a couple of minutes, so how was your energy late in the last quarter?
I don't know, I feel like I always have energy. I'm not sure. I'm probably the fittest I've been in a while, and I don't know, I never feel tired when I'm playing basketball. Like, it's fun. I feel like as soon as I step on the court, that's like my battery, and yeah, I don't really get tired. It's fun, yeah.
And what I'm loving about your game is I know you've always been known as an elite rebounder, but now you have that license to be creative offensively, and you're thriving on that.
Yeah, look, today my outside shots weren't dropping, but I think what helps with that is that I always contest my own misses even, and I'm getting O boards, and a way to get myself into rhythm is always O board putbacks, and I think that when you play freely and you play without being in your head, that's the best way to play basketball, and that's how I feel at the moment. So it's really good. Even though I was missing shots, I still felt like I was in the rhythm of the game.
And we have talked about during the broadcast that you were at the Opals camp, and you are so close, and we know that you're going to be at so many training camps in the future, but you put that disappointment behind you, and I'm sure you saw the training camp as a wonderful experience, and it made you a better player too.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't even say that it's a disappointment. I felt privileged that I was able to go to one of those. It was my first one ever. I felt like a sponge, and I soaked it all up, and either way, the fact that I was able to be there and learn off the other players and learn off Sandy and Shez, and it just felt like an awesome experience in and of itself. So I feel like I kind of picked up from that Opals camp as if I was, still going. Like, I haven't really had a break yet. So, no, I wish the best luck to the girls that went to Serbia. They're a brilliant team, and I think everyone can say that we're excited to watch them kind of smash it over there. So.
And Corbin did say that you're probably everyone's favourite player in the league at the moment, and I say yes to that too. But I think you are a wonderful role model because you are showing that effort, not necessarily always technique, but effort, and you have that in spades. And has that come from something you've always had as a junior, or has it developed over time?
I think so. Ever since I can remember playing, even as a little kid, I just wanted the ball. And I don't know where that really came from. Dad was a shooter. He wasn't really a defensive player. He'll tell you otherwise. But no, I think I've always just wanted to have extra possessions for the team, because I think that basketball is a game of possession, and the team that takes more shots and makes more shots wins. So I think that the drive for me has always been for the people around me, and it's fun to play that way, you know, like it's kind of a meditative state when you go out there and you're playing basketball, you're not thinking about anything else than the game you're playing. And over time that's been instilled in me more and more as an adult to kind of be in the moment. And what a better way, you know, there's no better way to be in the moment than to just go hard at every possession and be the best you can at what you're doing. So, yeah.
Well, you've explained that beautifully, Annalie. Well, look, we're feeling very blessed to have seen that personally today. It's such a great game. Well done, and all the best the rest of the season.
I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Annalie.
Great interview, Rachel Spawn, with Annalie Maley. She's an absolute hooper. There's no doubt about that. 26 and 21. Here's the game stats, Laurie Chiswick. The Spirit have won just their second victory in 2 seasons, a 12-point win over the Lightning.
And isn't that exciting for them? And they did a great job. I thought their shot selection was good. I thought they played as a team, took care of the ball, only 10 turnovers. And if you look at the Lightning, that 18 turnovers, and we know we've talked about it all the day, is about the offensive rebounds for Bendigo.
We'll pick that up in just a moment. Coach Tracy York is alongside Rachel Spawn.
Well, Tracy, the first quarter you had 13 points. And I was like, okay, you've got a lot of work to do, but you got that work done. Well done on this great win.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, the first quarter I think we were a bit all over the place, and then we settled and got some really good stops at the start of the second, and that kind of got us back level pegging, and I think probably defensively we got it done tonight.
And it's been a couple of tough seasons in the hub. It was tough, and you've had one win this season, but it just doesn't seem to reflect that on how you've gone about it. You know, you're pushing teams, you're being really competitive. That win today means a lot to this group, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like, you know, we're under demand compared to some of the other teams and budget-wise, etc. But the club really works hard to get the team on the floor, and we never give up. So, you know, there's been teams where, you know, the South Sides and the Perths we've lost by, you know, under 10 points. So to win today is great. I know they're under demand as well, but, you know, for us, we wanted to come out and, you know, defend better, which we did, and put the points on the board. So that was good.
And recruiting Annalie Maley, pretty good idea. It's going well. She's playing big minutes, and you can see why. She doesn't get tired. Her effort never stops. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, she's unbelievable. Like, that's a player you never have to coach effort, as you could see. She's just a machine, doesn't stop, keeps, you know, obviously fighting the whole time. I think she ended up with 26 points and 21 rebounds. And, you know, that's just amazing. So she, you know, there's always something in her tank, and she's been at Opals camp all week, so even better. But, you know, she's the benchmark for our group to go, let's go get some rebounds as well.
And Laurie mentioned during the last quarter, Tessa Lavey showed great leadership, really good tempo in offence. Yeah, she must be very grateful for Tessa's output today too.
Yeah, I thought Tessa was great. She was good on the scoreboard for part of that, and then just settling us down, going longer offences using the clock, and then it felt safe. The ball was in her hands, and it felt safe what we were doing at the end. So.
And when it's an effort like this, it feels like you should have a song to sing, doesn't it? Celebrate this moment. It was really great, and you know, I'm sure you work so hard. You know, you have the pre-season, you've had so many ups and downs, you've all had COVID, just about so much disruption. But when you can come back from all that and have an effort like that, it must just warm your heart.
Oh, it does, because that's pretty much our first game with everyone back and being kind of clear of COVID by a couple of weeks. So to get them back on the floor and then be able to play as hard as that, and I think we shared the ball pretty well, and, you know, we had good shots, some dropped, some didn't, but we certainly will take that.
Well, Tracy, well done. Celebrate this win, and all the best the rest of the season.
Thanks very much, Rachel. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Tracy York, great to see her team pick up a victory today, 74-62. They beat the Adelaide Lightning. We got a heap to talk about in the wash-up, not just pull apart this game. We're talking about the Opals squad, that's been named. We'll pull it apart, who made it and who didn't, as well as the rest of the weekend still to come at the WNBL. And I don't know if you heard, but the Goats coming back. We'll tell you more about that coming up. The Spirit winning here by 12. Plenty more on the other side of this. Annalee Maley, what a night she had. She finished with 26 points, 21 rebounds, 7 of them on the offensive end. Also came up with 3 assists and 5 steals. That is a monstrous night, Laurie Chiswick, what we saw from Annalee Maley here as Bendigo win by 12.
Wow, what a game to win it against. You know, they won the game. She was fantastic. You know, the dilemmas that they've had over the course of the season, only winning 1 game. So really excited for Tracy, for the team, and for Annalee. I mean, how many times did we say her name in the broadcast? Because she was just everywhere. And it wasn't, you know, if we have a look at these highlights, she started by doing some outside shots. And then as she said in her interview, it wasn't so much the outside shot she was hitting, so she had to find ways and means of scoring. And it was through penetration. It was through active hands and having an input. Just assists like that, her vision of the court. She just played such a complete game today. And the thing I like about her is that she's capable of rebounding, scoring, driving, passing, her steals. So, wow, we can't say enough about her effort today, and a lot of it was effort.
And she's unique as a player, where you look at her in international basketball and you think, look, is she a 3 or is she a 4 where she's going to play there? Sort of, she doesn't fit the typical mould. But one thing you can say for sure is there is a place for her in every team, in every basketball competition somewhere in the world, in what she's able to bring.
Well, and just her level of the fitness that she has, and the continuity of her aggression and her desire to come up with the ball and do something either for herself or for her teammates. And she talked in that interview about the reason she does those things is because it's great for her teammates and what she can do for them. And you know, and I love the fact that she said, when I miss a shot, I go after it hard because I can get my own rebound.
The other thing I want to look out for too is if that's what we saw from Annalee Maley coming straight back from the camp, what about Zatina Rakuzo and Lauren Nicholson and Jade Melbourne and Bet Cole, the other 5 players who'll be back in the WNBL this week, having played as or been a part of that camp with the Opals. Before we get to the Opals squad, Maddie Garrick's night. So coming across in the Melbourne Boomers, first year back at the Bendigo Spirit. She started like she'd been shot out of a cannon, had 8 points in the first quarter.
Well, she did, and it was really good to see Maddie shooting these outside shots because we know that she can light it up. She got a bit cold then, But again, she found different ways to score. If I'm not scoring from the three-point line, how can I still be valuable? She started putting it to the floor, driving it in, getting herself to the foul line, finishing inside. And again, she was so influential in what she was doing, the way she was moving and how she was scoring. And then she came up with some big threes to end the night off.
So had 6 in the last, having had 11 to three-quarter time. Didn't score at all in the third quarter. And then when it was time to close, she was able to step up. We mentioned Tess Lavey as part of the interview, and Maddie Garrick's night was exceptional, as well as Bendigo score their second win on the year. So they're 2-7. They've had a whole lot of issues when it comes to COVID, and obviously missing various players for various other reasons as well. So for her to be able to star like that tonight was particularly impressive. All right, what else is coming up this weekend in the WNBL? There is a game tonight. There's 2 more games to come tomorrow. First of all, our next stop is the UC Caps up against the Southside Flyers. And the Flyers, it must be said, Laurie Chiswick, have been hit hard. They have 3 players headed away for national duties. Obviously, Sarah Blitzarves is part of that crew, along with Kirsty Wallace and Maddie Rocci. My understanding is Abby Bishop's hurt as well, so she probably won't play tonight. This looks like a tall order for the Flyers.
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, they go in super underdone, you know, down with the 4-star players. They just snuck over the line against Sydney in the last game by 3 points. So it's going to take a mammoth effort to travel to Canberra and try and come up with a win. But you know what? Stranger things have happened, but that's with 3 of them and then Abby Bishop out. And we've heard that it's a fairly serious injury. So that's not going to be good news for them.
How fresh are those Canberra unis as well? Are you a fan of those with the different shades of blue that they're rolling with at the moment?
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but, you know, when we see Canberra conversely, you know, they got a great win against Adelaide, so they'll be feeling really good. They've got their full roster. They're at home, so they've got every reason to be confident going into this game. Tomorrow's match looks like a mismatch in prospect, but one thing I would say is today, Bendigo were a significant outsider. They snapped a 6-game losing streak against the highly fancied Adelaide Lightning. Townsville get Akuzo, they get Nicholson back from the camp, and they play a Sydney Uni Flames team who loses one of the best players in the comp in Shyla Hill. And Lauren Mansfield's also out with a calf complaint, which the club fears may end her season. They announced just as we went on air today. So tough one for the Flames up against Townsville. Well, without those two, and those are your generals on the court, your point guards. So, again, we talk about opportunity for other players. So, you know, Fundo Nagasoglu, she had a great game the last one, so hopefully she'll step up. But, again, it'll, you know, they should have beaten Southside. They were up by so much and then just faded in that last little bit. But I think it'll be a bit of an uphill battle for the Sydney Flames. We'll see what happens. Yep, I think most of us will be tipping Townsville there, but... Interestingly, sorry, Corbin, that these two teams play each other this weekend, tomorrow, and then the following weekend as well, when it'll be exactly the same scenario in players there. So, tell you what, Townsville would be feeling pretty good about that situation. All right, the other game to complete the weekend, the Melbourne Boomers up against the Perth Lynx. A lot of people would be having this as their championship decider at this stage, given what we've seen from both teams. I know you've got a couple of other teams in the mix, but when these two teams play out, it may just be as good as it gets in the competition this year. I cannot wait for this tomorrow night. Well, the thing about this game is that, yes, if both teams were full strength, you would expect that. But I expect it anyways, because I think the players that are missing sort of negate each other. So for Melbourne, George and Madgen are away with the Opals. Unfortunately, Mag Babor didn't make the trip, although I think it's a precaution that she didn't go and that she's not playing tomorrow. But Perth are without Garvin and Sammy Whitcomb, who are also with the Opals, and I'm not sure about Mabry. So it sort of balances each other's, you know, their starting lineups out. They both have good depth. So I think this will just be a fantastic game. So Garvin and Whitcomb, as you touched on, the two out. Perth are an interesting watch for us as well, Laurie. We're back here next Saturday as part of our nationally telecast game. Is going to be Bendigo again, so the Spirit up against the Perth Lynx. But it's a Spirit team that now all of a sudden feel good about themselves. They've broken that losing streak, and it's a Perth team who will be missing 2 of their stars. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. The Lynx and the Boomers, our next stop. There you go. Isn't it great to see Sammy just, lighting it up like she did in that last game in the absence of Mabry. She put on 23 points, so she was really influential, and now she's not going to be here for the next couple of games.
2 weeks ago, we spoke to Sandy Brondello, the coach of the Australian Opals, and Megan Huswaite asked her the question about the return of the GOAT, Lauren Jackson, about whether she was coming back. We learnt this week she is making a comeback at 40 years of age. She's going to play for Albury-Wodonga in the upcoming NBL 1 season, so can't wait to see what Lauren Jackson has at an advanced age getting back on the floor.
Well, it's going to be fantastic just to see her out there running around on the stadium that's named after her in front of her kids. And I think it's really important that we go, she herself has not said, I'm putting my hand up for the World Cup. Everybody else around her has, the media, the, people, spectators. But she has said, I just want to get out there and see how I go. I have no idea how it'll be. So, I think it's fun. I think it's fantastic. It's a great story. But let's not put any pressure on her about the World Cup, and let's just see how it evolves.
And in prospect too, you think a 40-year-old coming back, hasn't played, I know she's the best of all time to have ever done it, but that'll be a hell of a return if even you're putting her name in that kind of conversation to play at a World Cup, so soon. Given she hasn't played competitive high-level ball in 6 years or something now. So, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be fun to watch, isn't it, if she, just to see her back out there again, even if it's only for a couple more times.
Yeah, the only player I can think of playing at that age in the men's competition was DMAC, Daryl McDonald, who, I think he could have played till he was 50 almost. He was unbelievable. But it's really great to see that she's contemplating it and that her body feels so much better and that she's able to even consider it.
Just quickly on the Opals squad, so that was obviously announced during the week. The players that missed out that went to camp, I mentioned Maley, Akuzo, Nicholson, Melbourne, Cole, and Azzy Magbagor got hurt. So in a result, she's not part of the 12 players that will be going away, and there they are beautifully, just right on cue on screen. Any surprises, any name among that list that sort of jumps off the page here that thought, I'm surprised she either did or didn't make it?
Well, I think you're always going to have cases of players that, there's always debate after a team's selected as to who's missed out or who's made it. And to me, I think Beck Cole is probably one of the only ones that I think she's had a tremendous 2 seasons. Or last year she was unbelievable, and this year I think she's had a great season. Whether she's sort of locked into the 3-on-3 competition, I'm not sure, but I think that she would have been somebody that would have been really, really close to selection in this situation. But you know what? It's a great group. It's some young faces. They're trying out. They're looking at to see who's going to be up for it at the World Championships. And so I wish them all the best of luck and hope